This is Coliseum Video's Crunch Classic. I'll tell you what a Crunch Classic is. My whole doggone career has been nothing but Crunch Classics. Roddy Piper, don't do it any other way. Why, there was the time I knocked out Mr. T. There was the time I hit Snuka with the coconut. Mama Snuka was very angry about that one. There was a time I kicked Cyndi Lauper. Of course, I chased Dick Clark back there. Never mind all them matches and no belt to put around little Roddy's middle. Until I met the Mountie at this year's Royal Rumble.
Oh, look at this. Hot Rod not wasting any time. And Mountie trying to get out of there. He wanted out of there in the worst way, but Hot Rod says no. Now he got out. You know, I wasn't there in Springfield. Oh! I would assume, and wouldn't surprise me if that little runt was instrumental in the Mountie becoming the champion to begin with.
It doesn't matter.
Just like he is now, getting involved in this match.
What's he doing? He's standing there. He never touched Piper. He never jumped into the ring. He's done nothing wrong, and you're picking.
Look at it. He's got that megaphone antagonizing everyone.
First Amendment, Monsoon. Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I have that right, you know, being a broadcast journalist.
You have what right?
I can say whatever I want to whoever I want, whenever I want, as often as I want.
Hot Rod a little bit too smart for the Mountie on that one. Rams him into that top turnbuckle.
Well, he's taking it to the Mountie. But I'd pace myself if I was him. He's going to be out of gas soon.
Are you kidding?
In great shape.
Hot Rod is in tremendous condition.
Well, you're right about that, but still.
A bulldog finds the mark.
He's got to be nervous. He's got to be nervous. I mean, with all this on his mind, being able to capture 2 titles or blow 2 titles in one day.
He can't blow 2 titles. He doesn't have any, Brent.
Well, then he can't win 2 titles in one day.
Oh, yes, he can.
Well, maybe he will. Will you quit confusing me?
No, as long as you're sitting here next to me, you don't have any rights.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Thank you.
Could I run back and find
You're not
Mr.
going
Perfect?
anywhere.
I'd like to find out what number Rick got.
I think it's number 1. I'm not sure.
No,
That's what I
don't
heard.
say that.
I heard a rumor to that effect. Look at this.
Hey, how would you like a diet drink or something? Let me run out and I'll get you
No
something.
thanks.
Hot dog, huh? Extra mustard?
No.
Heavy on the onion? Just the way you like it.
Double axe handle right to the back of the neck of Piper. This one's turned into a slugfest.
Well, you don't want to slug it out with Piper. He will fight you.
Absolutely not. Whoa. Nice move by the Mountie. Showed me a little something there.
What do you think he was drop kicking? Casper the Ghost?
Hooks the leg. You're not going to beat Piper like that. Forget about it.
Come on, referee. You shouldn't even be wrestling Piper to begin with. You should have won this match by forfeit.
How do you know? Were you there in Springfield, Mass? Did you see what went down?
No, but I
Do you
heard.
know why President Jack Tunney made him the #1 challenger? No. Then why are you speculating?
Well, he stuck his nose in where
He
he
did
didn't
what?
belong.
How do you know that?
Well, that's what I heard.
You weren't there.
Piper went
You were
down.
with me.
And I don't like being with you.
Well, that's too bad.
Never done anything that bad to have to spend all this time with you lately.
Biggest mistake of all, of course, made by Brett. The Hitman entering the ring with 140-degree temperature after the doctor pleading with him, please don't go out there, you're a sick person.
What a wuss.
Huh. Can you imagine a guy putting his heart in front of his head and just thinking about the fans and how they spent their hard-earned money to come down there and see him, see the Hitman.
What a competitor.
Yes.
What a gutsy guy.
Well, he made a big mistake.
What an idiot. You can take the easy way, take it, pal.
Oh, sunset from the outside by Hot Rod. Not going to get him.
No. Like I said, I've had 113 temperature.
What?
I ate a little bit, but I still went wrestled,
don't
you know.
you be
Got a little under the weather.
Get a life, will you, brain? 113, you'd be dead.
I took a half one of those St. Joseph aspirin for children. Knocked it right out of me. The orange flavored one.
Children's bear, is that what?
Yeah.
Whoa! Right alongside the jaw. What a shot that was.
What a flimsy excuse to make that he had 104 temperature. What's Piper's excuse here today? 300-degree temperature? Piper will make some excuse why he didn't capture the title. Whoa!
Oh, nice go behind. Atomic drop. Mountie Holt, he held onto that top rope. A power move here. Nice move by the Mountie.
Oh, no!
Oh, sleeper! Sleeper by Hot Rod! Right in the center of the ring!
He's choking him, Monsoon. He's choking him. He's got it across the Adam's apple.
Referee looking right there. Look out! Jimmy Hart's got the shock stick. In the meantime, the Mountie is fading.
Jimmy, do something.
Oh, he's out! Hot Rod did it!
We've got a new Intercontinental Champion. Well, one down, one to go, huh, Piper?
Hot Rod now with the shocker.
He choked the man unconscious.
He did not. He used the sleeper.
I could see from my vantage point, he choked him unconscious.
One half of the puzzle is solved. Oh, yes!
Ladies and gentlemen,
How sweet it
winner of
is.
this bout, and new Intercontinental Champion, Rowdy Piper.
One half of the formula now complete. We have a new Intercontinental Champion, Hot Rod Roddy Piper. And this place has come unglued.
And a joking experience for the Mountie. Ah, one of the village people, YMCA. And 10 pounds of gold over my head. The biggest day of my life. Except for maybe today. I got the chance here to sit with you folks and host Coliseum Home Video. The next guy you're going to see is somebody that I've been behind 100% my whole career. Or his whole career. I guess I've been around longer. Virgil! We sat, had skim milk together, ate bologna sandwiches together, trained together. I dragged my bum leg, and now you're going to see him tag up with the big boss man. Now, these guys here are going to take on a couple of the biggest jerks I've ever seen in my life. One, because he got so much money, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and the second one, IRS, short for Irwin. I know who I'm rooting for. How about you?
The following tag team contest.
Lordship, I'm sure you would agree there is going to be a lot involved in this upcoming tag team battle.
Entering the ring, weighing in at 248 pounds, and hailing from Washington, D.C., here is Irwin R. Shyster, also known as IRS.
Tough Tex Man has
I
a few
can
comments
see
here.
why you people support the boss man and Virgil, because they're nothing more than tax cheats, just like the rest of you people.
Where does he get his information?
He has a lot
How
of
does he
information.
know that the big boss man and Virgil are tax cheats? Has he ever
has a lot
presented
of
any evidence? You can't make comments like that.
I think he has information on you.
You think. I want to see evidence, or he should not make such public statements.
I think he's,
Ruin someone's character.
he doesn't ruin their character. He just alludes
Oh,
to them.
lose. Once it's made public, it's out.
I think
It's a good thing that no one believes in his character. Otherwise, individuals could really suffer because of it.
Well, do you think that the boss man is without blemish?
I never said that. But how can IRS step into the ring and say he's a tax cheat when he has not presented any evidence? No wonder he's teamed up with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Think he does his tax returns for him?
Oh, I bet he does. Well, that's a man he should investigate, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
I don't think Ted DiBiase has to pay taxes. He's got so much money.
That's right, the rich get richer. Big Boss Man must have heard the comments by the tough tax man. He came flying out here.
He seems riled up, doesn't he?
He'd like to rattle that nightstick off the cranium of IRS and Ted DiBiase.
Weighing in at 250 pounds, here is the $1 Million champion, Virgil!
I think the blood pressure of the $1 Million Man just shot up as he saw Virgil come through the curtain with the $1 Million belt.
Yes, that must be very, very bitter for him to see such a sight. And this man, one of the most improved wrestlers of the 90s.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh, just look at Sensational Sherry.
Yeah, just look at her.
She's looking at all those diamonds, and she doesn't seem to be... I thought diamonds were a girl's best friend.
Well, I think they are if they're hers.
Aha.
IRS and the $1 Million Man want to be referred to as Money Incorporated, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Good idea. I like that. That's a neat sounding title for them.
And they plan to make a large deposit today in victory.
Well, if they do become victors here, that is indeed a very, very large deposit. But they're going to have their work cut out for them, because no matter what you might say about Shyster, he really is a superb and competent wrestler. He has all the tools necessary. He was a great amateur, great wrestling background. And since he's been a professional with the World Wrestling Federation, he's shown just how good he is.
Battle underway here. IRS and the Big Boss Man. A flurry of blows. Wow. Quite an exchange between the two. Big Boss Man with a boot there to the face of IRS as he finally gets the upper hand, or boot.
Yes.
In this case.
Shyster was moving very, very rapidly indeed, but the Boss Man surprised me. Everybody here, and more than that, he surprised IRS with that tremendous boot. Very quick indeed.
$1 Million Man checks in now. Sensational Sherry. Now there she's making outrageous accusations. It's all hearsay.
Well,
You're spending time in a court of law, Lord Alfred Hayes, you would know that.
Well, I don't know what to say about Sensational Sherry. She's a strange girl. She's lovely, but strange. Some girls are like that, you know.
Yes, I do know that.
She should be a blonde, I think.
Virgil, over anxious there, comes charging in. Met with a knee from Ted DiBiase. This is personal between these two, for sure.
And that's the way it certainly looks.
Virgil, as you know, the former bodyguard of the $1 Million Man, he would love to get a victory here. Pin Ted DiBiase to the canvas, but first he wants to inflict some punishment. Atomic drop sends Ted DiBiase over the top rope. Sensational Sherry right there to console him. Virgil wants to continue this battle outside of the ring.
And that was a crunching blow that DiBiase took to the concrete floor here. Oh, my word, another one.
Uppercut from the Big Boss Man, Virgil. Continues the damage. Slams DiBiase right on the apron.
And
Sends
DiBiase
him back into the ring.
Yes, he's taking a shellacking shot. How long is he going to stand up to this sort of treatment?
Well, at this point, to try and get things back together. Oh, Virgil rushes in. Foolish move there. Think of all the time he spent with the $1 Million Man, he would know his tactics, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes, indeed.
Flying shoulder block. Virgil quickly in trouble. How things change.
What an agile move that was by IRS. And he's very, very quick to continue that assault. Look at this. Now, here's a distraction.
Big Boss Man doing Virgil more harm than good here. Should have stayed out of it. Referee never saw that exchange as $1 Million Man and IRS double team a very popular superstar. Lordship, we are witnessing an exclusive matchup for Coliseum Video. Voice in Canada to be included. A video cassette titled Crunch Classic.
Oh, what an apt name that is too for this particular match. There's been some crunching action already, and some of it taken by the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, but at the same time now he's beginning to mete out some of that crunch classical action against his former bodyguard Virgil.
Full count of 2 there. $1 Million Man didn't mind the fact that Virgil got the shoulder up, giving him more time to punish his former bodyguard. The Big Boss Man again distracts Joey Marella, allowing the $1 Million Man and IRS to double team Virgil. And there was no tag made.
Oh, golly, that was close. Virgil must be suffering because he only just got that shoulder up there after that perfectly timed leg drop by IRS.
DiBiase gets the boot up. IRS slams Virgil's head into it.
And they seem to be concentrating on Virgil more, closing the ring for an escape to the Boss Man, so obviously they think they can deal with Virgil more than the Boss Man. That may be his mistake.
Virgil quickly reverses that move, and it's Ted DiBiase who is slammed to the canvas. Back of the head is the first thing to hit. I would agree, Lord Alfred Hayes, the strategy of Money Incorporated, go after Virgil. Although I do not believe there's much of a difference. I would say the financial duo dislikes Virgil more than the former prison guard, if that's possible.
Well, they've obviously got together and discussed their tactics, Sean, and it's paying off.
Despite the fact it could certainly pay off if they got their hands back on the $1 Million belt.
Yes, absolutely. Good try there.
Attempts a suplex. It's Virgil. Turns it around, and IRS is the victim. Sensational Sherri was not pleased with the end results.
She was not indeed.
And our Coliseum cameras bring you right close up to the action.
They certainly do. Oh, look at this. Boss Man in. Oh, my word, what a right uppercut.
Reverse shoulder block. Boss Man. Splash to IRS, and it looked as though he could have kept him down there, Lord Alfred Hayes.
It certainly did. But now they're keen on a little revenge here, and that also could be a bad move.
Right between the eyes.
Wow.
And now it's an all-out brawl. Boss Man exchanging blows with Ted DiBiase, knocks him out of the ring. Virgil after IRS. Sensational Sherri takes a shoe off, tries to hit Virgil, misses. And takes out IRS. Here's a cover. Wow! And the tactics backfire.
Here are your winners, the team of the Big Boss Man and the $1 Million Champion, Virgil!
And Irwin R. Schyster is enraged at Sensational Sherri. And now Ted DiBiase and IRS getting into it.
Sensational Sherri has caused a lot of dissension in that team, and that's a pity because they are a brilliant combination. Irwin I. Schyster, I should say, and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, is going to buy it.
No honor among thieves, echoed by the Big Boss Man. And it looks as though we're about to have a split of Money Incorporated. Now the $1 Million Man offering a payoff here to try and calm down IRS.
Well, it seems to have cooled down sufficiently enough for them to shake hands.
And we are now clearly seeing that money really is the answer for these two, as Irwin R. Schyster clearly shows he has a price.
Managers. You know how managers eat? They eat out of a bowl. on the side of the bowl, it says Fido. They all get in there together, snarling, because they're no good. They can't fight, they can't do, they can't own. So they manage, let's take a look at that little megaphone tooting Jimmy Hart. He's always screaming at somebody. Never does anything except cashes a check. Well, Coliseum Video. They were the only ones out of everybody to have enough guts to follow around Jimmy Hart for 24 hours just to see how crazy it can get for a WWF manager. Not.
Can you believe this? What a day I've had. My limousine doesn't pick me up at the airport. Hey, pal, thanks for the ride, okay? I appreciate it, man. I'll tip you later, okay? What a day this has been. Can you believe Coliseum Video had over 100,000 people to ride in, and they picked Jimmy Hart, the manager of the year, to see what it was in a day of the life of Jimmy Hart. Look over my shoulder. There's the big Hoosier Dome. We've got people gathered around here. I've got to go in and check in now because the bounty's here. I've got the Nasty Boys checking in. I got to check them out. IRS, the $1 Million Man. It's going to be a busy, busy day for me. So come on, guys. Come on. Bring those Coliseum Video cameras and come on in. Woo! What a day it's been already. I can't believe this. Hey, my man. How you doing, man? Great to be back at the hotel.
Good.
Hey, listen, let me check on a couple of things here.
Okay.
All right, has the $1 Million Man checked in yet?
He is here.
Beautiful. Okay, what about the Mountie?
He's here?
All right, what about my Nasty Boys?
They are here also.
Great. Okay, I'll tell you what I need. I'd like to have my usual room, okay?
Okay, only one bad thing here, Mr. Hart. It's going to be about 3 hours before that is ready.
Wait a minute. The Mountie's here, the Nasty Boys are here, they all got their rooms, the IRS, but
You're the last.
from the last one,
You're
it's
not
going to be
happy.
3 hours?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I can't believe this is happening. You know, let me tell you, it's been a hard day already. The limousine didn't pick me up. You know, there wasn't a guy to help me carry the bags in here, and now my room's not ready. This is too much. Well, have you got a room anywhere for me? Anywhere?
I do have a room in the basement, sir.
The basement? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, listen, give it to me. I'll take
Okay.
anything right now. Hold on my phone calls, okay?
certainly will.
See you shortly, man. Jimmy, you said you were going to take care of my stick today. Oh, Mountie, listen, let me tell you, I have been so busy this morning. Look at this. The $1 Million Man called. They lost his bags.
Jimmy,
What?
I always get my man, but I
know
need
you're
my
the-
stick.
But Mountie, listen, you know that you're #1 man in the Hart organization. You are #1, and I'll take care of it. But look at this. The IRS call. His plane is late coming in for the...
But, Jimmy, if
Mountie,
I don't have
listen,
my stick-
Okay, give it to me. Give it to me. Listen, I promise you this. Before the match tonight, your stick... Listen, who led you to the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship? Who put you in the movies? Who put you on commercials? I did. Listen, don't worry about a thing. Listen, you go rest up. Go to the gym, work out, and I'll take care of everything, okay? Okay,
Thank you,
Mountie.
Jimmy.
Oh, great. Oh, man, this is driving me crazy. I've got a migraine headache. I need some Tylenol. Hey, I need some Tylenol. Give me a headache. Okay, sure. All right, listen. First of all, the Arsenio Hall Stone. That's Come on, I'm looking for you guys.
Look, I need to talk to my chauffeur. Is my limousine going to be ready?
The limousine will be there. The chauffeur's going to pick you up right at the
Great,
airport. I
great,
promise
great.
you that,
Okay,
baby.
okay.
Listen, the briefcase is done, but look, here's your brand new belt. We just got to finish it. Look, they put your initials on it because I know you're going to be champion for a long, long time, baby.
we
And
are.
listen, the Arsenio Hall show, you're going to be booked out on the 11th. Coliseum Video wants to do a story of your lives. Hey, everything's looking great, guys.
Stay in touch.
Okay,
Stay in
all right, I'll
touch.
check you
Take
guys
care.
later. Okay, super.
Calm down.
Super. Oh, yes, okay, beautiful. All right, so we got the Arsenio Hall show, beautiful. Everything's lined up for that. All right, what about the movie? Beautiful. Oh, great. Thank you very much. All right, I'll check you later. Okay, bye. Oh, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown, I'm telling you. What a busy day. Hello? Hello? Oh, man. Hello? The $1 Million Man's belt's what? It's not ready? Okay. And the Mountie Shock Stick's not back? And the Nasty Boys, they did what? You gotta be kidding me. What room are they in? Okay, thanks. Oh, man, I can't get a bit of sleep around here. I can't get a bit of sleep. This is driving me crazy. Where's my other tennis shoe?
Keep your faces. Punch their teeth and lights out, baby. Yeah.
There you are. Listen, the bell's ringing. They're in the ring. Let's go, guys. Come on, we're
What are
ready.
you talking about, Jimmy? We're getting prepared here.
I know you're getting prepared, but you're always ready. You're the Nasty Boys. But the bell just rung. We gotta go to the ring, baby.
Don't worry about it. Take it easy. We're getting ready here, baby. To get nasty.
But I have to worry about it because you're the greatest team go. I'll skull him, baby.
Go, Ghost! He worries too stinking much. Let's go.
Now, I guess you guys for Coliseum Video, you've been with me all day. Now you know how busy trying to be a manager in the World Wrestling Federation is, you know? Finally, this day's coming to a close, and you guys aren't coming here with me. See, it's hard when you manage the Nasty Boys and the $1 Million Man, the IRS. It's tough on you, man, and the Mountie, too. Well, baby, you're not bringing the cameras in here. The day's finished right here. Let me see. Oh, gosh. Oh, no, please don't tell. Oh, man, don't tell me. Oh, no. 9-4 is up, and I can't get in.
Well, maybe if you paid your bill, Jimmy, the door wouldn't be locked on you, huh? Now, listen, before you just break down and cry, let's go back to ringside with 2 more of Jimmy's wonderful finds, the Nasty Boys versus the new foundation.
The following is a tag team attraction.
It is time for tag team competition. Lord Alfred Hayes, you always enjoy a good 2-on-2 confrontation. I believe we are about to see one. From out to the south, Jimmy Hart leading out the Nasty Boys, Knobbs and Sags. They certainly... We'll see if their opponents today can do something about it. I'm going to say Knobbs and Sags have definitely earned the reputations of being 2 of the most despicable superstars in the WWF, both in and out of the ring.
Their opponents have a total combined weight of 506 pounds.
They are dedicated to being
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Well, the new foundation on their way out to the ring. Good shot there of Owen Hart, the brother of Bret the Hitman Hart, and his tag team partner, Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yes, that's some sort of a renewal there for Neidhart because he and Bret Hart were very successful. A successful combination and indeed held the championship, the tag team championship of the World Wrestling Federation.
I recently had a conversation with Owen, your lordship.
Yes.
And he was telling me that he remembers being a teenager, growing up, and Jim Neidhart being around the house quite a bit. And Bret Hart, his older brother, working out with the Anvil. And he said he had some fear that when he came to the World Wrestling Federation that the Anvil would still treat him like a kid. And he said that that has indeed not been the case. The Anvil has, if anything, more than welcomed him to the WWF. He says they talk about their strategy together all the time. And that Jim Neidhart does not make him feel inadequate at all when it comes to being a skilled superstar, and even asks him for advice.
That's really
They have quite a great situation.
That's really heartening to hear, Sean. Another thing is, what an inspiration for a young man that must have been to have a brother, an older brother like Bret Hart, and whose tag team partner was also a champion, Jim Neidhart. Incredible upbringing for a young man.
Some great role models. The Nasty Boys cleared out of the ring.
Oh, my word. And look at the mouth of the South Run. I've never seen him move so quickly as the Rocket came out and took care of 2 men at the same time.
What a display by the new foundation. Jim Neidhart sent Owen Hart.
Crunch that was.
It certainly was. And a great move to include on a video cassette from Coliseum Video, the Crunch Classic. Neidhart sends Owen Hart flying over the second rope. A body tackle takes out both the Nasty Boys. They went down like bowling pins. They never saw it coming.
They didn't see that at all. Completely unexpected. What a great move. I really like that one. A super shot there by the Rocket. He's paying a little for it now, but this youngster is so versatile, he can do anything.
Trying to wreak some revenge here. Knobbs, not quick enough for Owen Hart. 2 arm drags. Leave him stranded on the canvas.
Oh, another cruel, wicked shot there. to the left arm of Sags. Sags suffering.
And another shot.
What a technician this young man is. Definitely following in the footsteps of his more renowned brother. And we're getting a bird's eye view, or should I say Jimmy Hart's eye view, of the action taking place in the ring there.
Owen Hart again showing his quickness. Knobbs tried to drill him with an elbow. Missed badly. Tag made, in comes Neidhart. Out to punish Sags a little bit. That's the arm around the top rope. Continues twisting. You saw Neidhart there. Cautious look over to the corner of the Nasty Boys. See where Knobbs was. You never know where he will appear.
That's absolutely true. You just can't tell what these two huge Nasty Boys are going to get up to next.
Tag made again. Sags backs Hart against the ropes. Oh my word. Humiliating a tactic there.
This is very, very dangerous indeed, luring him into a trap. And he's achieved, I think, what he wanted. He's got him trapped in that corner. They baited that trap so well, but look at this Neidhart in there, and that is a distraction.
And now a little double team action by the Nasties. Both going to work as Sags pins Owen Hart on the second rope, and Knobbs pounds away from behind. And you can always expect to see those type of tactics used by both Knobbs and Sags. They will do whatever it takes to win.
Oh, very hard.
Slammed into the corner.
Wow.
With the whole ring move.
Super, stay on it, baby. Good teamwork, beautiful. There you go, in and out.
And you have to admit the Nasty Boys, Knobbs and Sags, they combine their talents very well as a tag team, and Jimmy Hart has done miracles with this twosome here. He really has brought listen to him, pulled a great tag team together.
Owen Hart keeps up the fight from any position. From behind, drove a fist to the side of Sags' head. Talk about grit. Elbow into the sternum. Double. There's a right to the chin over the top of the sunset flip. Can he bring Sags down? No. Drives a fist into the forehead of the Rocket.
And that was a good shot by Sags there. He seemed to be in a little bit of trouble, but he got himself out of that corner, out of that mess. Made a very intelligent tag indeed to Knobbs, who's piling on the pressure here.
Slamming a series of elbows right into the spine of Owen Hart. Goes for the cover here. Doesn't even get two. Shows you the fight left in Owen Hart. But Knobbs keeps right after him.
Owen has a lot of fight. You're right, Sean, left in him, but the sagacious thing to do here would be to tag out.
He's a long way from home. Jim Neidhart anxiously awaiting his tag on the apron, but at this point he is helpless to get involved. Sags with a surly look, glancing at the Rocket.
New Foundation history, baby!
It looks like it might be history here for the New Foundation. Nasty Boys are in control of this match and have been for the last 5 minutes or so. And it's difficult to see how they can lose this one. They've established a great lead. They're firmly there.
What Alfred Hayes said, encounter is not judged on points. Whoever's shoulders get pinned to the canvas.
How true, that is so true.
Double team action. The Rocket makes a tag. The Rocket launches the Anvil into the ring. And what a great change.
That really was superb team work there by...
Thinking ahead.
Yes, they were indeed. By the New Foundation.
Shoulder block. Drops Knobbs. Here's a cover. Sags
that
just removes the referee.
Now he's going to be lucky if he's not disqualified here.
Definite grounds, that's for sure.
Absolutely definite grounds. No doubt about that whatsoever.
At times it doesn't appear that the Nasty Boys have any desire to get an official victory. They just go in to punish the opposition.
From a disqualification, the New Foundation.
Not quite sure what was going through the mind of Nasty Boy Knobbs or Sags. Sags grabbed the referee and tossed him aside. A blatant rule broken there, and the official word will stand. The New Foundation will walk away victorious, and the Nasty Boys will head back to the locker room enraged. This is an exciting duo, the Rocket Owen Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
And the Nasty Boys certainly fell foul of them, Sean. Once again, the victors, you're looking at them, the New Foundation, Owen Hart and Jim Neidhart.
Jimsy. You know, let me tell you about another time Jimmy Hart looked like the Concorde going over the ring. It was back in WrestleMania 3. 92,271 paid admission. And me, I'm a Scotsman, I don't pay for nothing. I was fighting Adrian Adonis. Who did Adrian Adonis have for a manager? The Tutor. Jimmy Hart. Well, for me, it was one of the greatest moments of my life because for the first time, you folks weren't stabbing me or booing me or throwing popcorn at me. You was cheering like no one has ever heard before. 92,000, baby, check it out.
What a choice by the Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper, for this Crunch Classic, because this match indeed was a classic. Gorilla Monsoon, along with his lordship, Alfred Hayes, as we take you back to WrestleMania 3, Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan, record-setting crowd, 92,000 plus.
Absolutely, Gorilla. And look at Roddy. He is a very, very forceful person indeed, not only on camera, behind the scenes, but on camera, in the ring.
Well, some special stipulations involved in this match. Both men had to agree in the contract that the loser would get a free haircut, your lordship. And I mean a baldy job.
Yes, I'm waiting to see that. I know what happened here, of course, as everybody else does, but I want to see it again.
It was deafening in the Silverdome in Pontiac. And Hot Rod was right on top of his game. Adrian Adonis tipping the scales at well over 300 at that time.
He certainly was, Gorilla, but you'll notice as the action takes place in this match that he hasn't lost any agility or ability because of that superfluous weight.
There's the equipment necessary to do the job on the loser. Uh-oh, Hot Rod's got that bell. Whoa! Nailing Adrian. Couple of beauty shots. Go get him. Well, that's what happened. That little runt did his job, didn't he?
Yes, he distracted Piper there, and now it looks like a bit of tit for tat here with Adonis having the belt. Oh, gosh. This is an ad shot.
Oh, punishing blows there by Adrian Adonis. A lot of heated words went down before this match from both parties, but now the time for the talking was all over.
And you can see just how effective that left hand of Adonis is. Oh, my word!
Oh, look at the agility of the big guy, though. Came right down on his feet. Hot Rod wanted him back in there. Now it's a tug of war. Well, we know who's going to win that one.
Yes, and that was two for the price of one. Look at this, Gorilla.
Double noggin knocker. Sent the little run down to the canvas. Watch out.
Oh!
Well, that easily could have been the end of Jimmy Hart. Unfortunately, it was not.
No, absolutely. He could have been squashed there. And Piper looking really fantastic, showing tremendous form. In fact, he looks just as good then as he does today with a little bit more experience.
I'm certainly glad we got an opportunity. Look at this, airborne Jimmy Hart. Got another opportunity to view this classic.
And look at the wild look on Rowdy Roddy Piper's face there.
Oh, look at that from the outside. Jimmy Hart just tugging at the ankle of Hot Rod. He went down face first.
He did indeed, Gorilla, and our referee Dave Hebner was unsighted for that too. They're really working their magic, these two, Adonis and Hart, over Roddy Piper.
Adrian now sensing victory, starting to really open up here. Look at this. Whoa.
Oh,
what a clothesline.
Nobody ever expected those left-handers from Adonis, and certainly Piper didn't, although I must say he did do his homework rather thoroughly, as we'll see a little later on.
And how dangerous Adonis was, a southpaw. Whoa, Hot Rod bought a little time there, but only temporary.
And most wrestlers were always distressed by having to face that southpaw attack of Adonis, but Piper managed somehow or other. Oh, well, not there he didn't.
Got rammed right into the announcer's table. And now look, keep your eye on that little run, Jimmy Hart, with that atomizer.
A tremendous hard shot was taken by Piper just then, but look, he got up again.
Not a fight in that Scotsman yet.
Such a proud Scot, Gorilla. And by choosing this match, he also showed us that he's not ashamed to show some of his inefficiencies then.
Look at that, at that point in time, Adrian just picking his spots here, just setting him up. And Hot Rod saying, come on, is that all you got? Hot Rod firing back, not a whole lot behind those blows. Whoa, there's a shot by the atomizer. And the sleeper by Adonis.
And at this point, we thought, Gorilla, I remember saying that's the finish. That's curtains for Piper. He'd been atomized in both eyes. But look how he hung in there.
Trying to get rid of Adonis with a simple flying bear move, but Adonis held on to that sleeper. And Roddy looked like he was in bad trouble at this particular point in time.
He most certainly did. But he had such perseverance, such tenacity, and definitely he had great staying power and stamina.
Look at that little runt. He had those head shears ready to do a number on the curly locks of the Hot Rod. Referee checking to make sure it wasn't a joke.
The referee was good here. He kept a very, very close eye on the proceedings. And watch this, it nearly went down, but it just stayed there.
Adrian thought it was all over at that point, but the referee didn't see it that way.
I don't think anybody else did, 92,000 people.
Oh, look at this from the outside.
And that is where Brutus the Barber came into play.
And Adonis caught the hedge clippers and the sleeper by Hot Rod. And the place just went bananas.
They certainly did. Everybody, 92,000 people on their feet. There wasn't one person sitting down.
Adrian got locked into that sleeper, the one that he used unsuccessfully. The Hot Rod was now applying with a great deal of success.
Yes, oh look! The bell is gone.
And raised in a token of victory. What a battle.
And no wonder Piper was so proud of this match that he chose it as his most favorite match of all time.
Brudai handed the clippers in. Now's a chance to do it, Roddy.
used those big ones. I don't remember that. You know, he didn't. I was going to say I couldn't remember. Look at the locks coming off.
Oh, he's got the clippers in there now. Look at those black roots, your lordship.
What does that mean exactly, Bruno?
Well, that means that he did a little dye job there. He won't mind this haircut. In fact, he won't even know about it.
Look at that. He's got so much hair there, it's taking Brutus ages to get it off. Very strong hair.
You know what it was, your lordship? I talked to Brudai after the match. They were so sweating so profusely, the hair was so wet, it was almost impossible to cut.
Yes, it was clogging up those shears, I believe.
And look at Hot Rod, in the meantime, was holding down the little runt Jimmy Hart so that he could not interfere. Oh, I think he's doing a nice job.
He is doing a nice job.
I think they should have gave him a trim as well.
Yes. It's not exactly a short back and sides. It's a lot off the top, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Oh, Piper has regained all his strength now, and he's just enjoying this to the hilt.
He's thrown out a few souvenirs as well. Some Goldilocks and some black locks from the cranium of Adrian Adonis.
That's not a bad job Adonis is doing on him there, is it?
Certainly wasn't. Only one of the great ones at WrestleMania 3 as the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. Look at this. He's going to give him the final look.
Oh, I love this part of it. This is great. I've watched this a couple of times.
Wait till you see the expression.
Yeah!
Oh! Adrian Adonis really bent out of shape in the Pontiac Silverdome, as this indeed was a Crunch Classic.
The winner! Not only did I beat him, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, it was a hair versus hair match. I didn't want to shave his hair, loosen his hair. I let Brutus do it. Started him on a whole new career. Now, I know a lot of you fans write into Coliseum Video, and we get a lot of mail from you requesting matches. You know, you even one time you requested one of mine, and Grandma, I thank you for that. But now we got a fan from St. Louis. His name is J.B. Franklin II. Or either that or there's two of them. And what he has done, Franklin wants to see a match between Davey Boy Smith, and he wants him to take on The Undertaker. J.B., you got it.
This contest
Chiming of that bell, Lord Alfred Hayes,
is
sent a
scheduled
chill
for one fall.
all the way down
Now
my
approaching the
spine.
ring area, accompanied by his manager, Paul Bearer, from Death Valley.
I know The Undertaker has become a bit more friendly these days. Still, that music is so eerie.
Yes.
And I just cannot warm up to Paul Bearer.
No, very, very difficult to warm up to either of these. But that cold, black, icy heart that was displayed by The Undertaker, we know to have melted just a little bit more. Maybe it's just a fraction warmer than we actually thought.
I thought it might be safe to have a conversation with Paul Bearer. And you know what he did?
No.
He offered me a deal on a family plot. That was his way of breaking the ice.
Wasn't much of a deal, though.
I told him I wasn't exactly thinking about it, but I'd let him know.
Does he ever discuss the price of embalming fluids these days?
He started that, I was out of there. I handled it as best I could.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can get deals, you know, 2 for the price of 1. He has one deal he calls the 6-pack.
My word, what
for
is
the
that?
whole family, yeah. Including the dog.
His opponent from Leeds, England, weighing 275 pounds, the British Bulldog.
British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith has certainly raised the spirits of the folks here in Dayton, Ohio. He is popular the world over. Lord Alfred Hayes, we had the experience recently of being in his native country at the Sheffield Arena. And the folks there when he came out and blew the roof off the place.
They certainly did. He's worked his way into the hearts of everybody the world over, the British Bulldog, and he's done that by virtue of some tremendous performances inside the ring. What a look on the face there.
The Undertaker, not waiting long. He's right after the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. He is an incredible superstar.
And although he has a very, very cold disposition, it didn't take him long to warm up for this match. He's right on top of the British Bulldog now. And once he's in front, he's very, very difficult to shake.
And what a great exclusive matchup to include.
There's your friend.
Yeah, my friend, my buddy. British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, fires back with a flurry of forearms. Not seem to really have much effect on the Undertaker. He is 360'd over the top rope, lands on his feet. And he barely looks as though any of the dust came off his shoulders.
No, that's the advantage of having that long, hard body of his. His feet came down first, and he sustained no damage at all.
Davey Boy Smith blocks an attempted slam into the steel steps. It is the Undertaker who kisses the hard steel. Davey Boy Smith stretched across the top rope, snaps back onto the canvas.
What a great counter move that was by the Undertaker. Davey Boy Smith had him completely at his mercy in a vulnerable position, but somehow or other, the Undertaker turned the tables. Super, super move.
Davey Boy still suffering from that blow. As I attempted to mention earlier, Lord Alfred Hayes, before I was interrupted by Paul Bearer, what an exclusive matchup to include on Coliseum's Crunch Classic.
Indeed it is.
That tape to include some other great collisions. We are certainly fortunate to witness this one. Look at the eyes. Right.
And that's from our ace cameraman just there, Marty Applebaum, taking us very, very close to the action. And now Marty running very quickly around the side of the ring.
Surprised he would get that close. I thought the Undertaker gave him the creeps.
I thought so too.
He's showing he's willing to do his job.
He's not a bad fellow.
Undertaker now sends the British Bulldog over the second rope. Nothing to break his fall, but that very thin mat between him and the concrete as the Undertaker continues to stalk him.
And he's being flanked here on both sides. Paul Bearer there, Undertaker on the left of him.
I think whoever's in that urn wants out.
Gosh, into those steel stairs.
Davey Boy Smith escaped the stairs the last time, not when he tried to escape there. He was caught up by the Undertaker and slammed into the steel.
And the Undertaker's thrown him back in the ring. He was a clean 1-2-3 pin on the Bulldog. And if he does, surely we'll see that ritual. Oh, come on, he's missed.
Missed with the elbow. British Bulldog quick on his feet, comes back up, tries to body slam the Undertaker. He uses his weight and the leverage to send Davey Boy onto his back. Got a cover, but could not keep him there. Now into the ropes. Flying shoulder block.
Tremendous elevation he achieved with that flying shoulder block.
Bulldog laid out. The Undertaker taking his time.
And getting a little inspiration from that urn, Sean.
Do you know who's in there?
I don't know.
Distant relative?
It could be, easily.
Obviously draws inspiration from it.
Nice.
Not even a mother could love that face.
I don't think so. It's really a sort of a creepy, embalming type face.
It's probably what's on the gloves. The Undertaker as he
The power of the urn compels you.
rips.
The power of the urn compels you. The power of the urn. Yeah.
Conducting a seance.
Yes.
At ringside.
Well, it is a ritual they do go through, and he really does seem to draw inspiration from that compelling, whatever it is, emanation from the urn.
Pressing the face now of Davey Boy Smith. He should check those gloves out. Some kind of liquid on there that's asphyxiating.
Well, I do
Davey Boy
believe
Smith.
there are checks right in the beginning there.
Davey Boy not about to let this match end. Fires back and again. He cannot hold up the Undertaker.
He's having difficulty with his balance with this huge man, the Undertaker. If Davey Boy can get his balance right, he might be able to shock the Undertaker.
Using that massive upper body strength, driving some hard shots into the torso of the Undertaker. Some headbutts now and attempt at a suplex. Big delay.
Oh, my word, nobody's ever done that
Incredible.
before.
Comes right back up.
Oh, never been done before, ever, ever, ever.
Now in a very vulnerable position, Davey Boy Smith has ended a lot of encounters this way. There's the power slam, a cover. Paul Bear tries to get into the ring. Interfering, and he could have had a count there, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes, I believe he saw the demise of his man, and he was quick to get there. The urn is coming into play.
Slams the British Bulldog in the back of the head. Referee did not see it. Paul Bear wisely interferes. Referee had gone down for the counts. Looked as though Davey Boy Smith could have ended the encounter. Bulldog got up, went to try and get Paul Bear out of the ring. The Undertaker went and grabbed the urn. You saw what happened from there.
I believe we're going to see the humiliation now of that ritual with the death bag, the body bag involved, and Bulldog's going to go inside there, and that's a terrible thing to happen to you. And this was really a shocking verdict given by Sparta. However, he was unsighted. He didn't see that urn crashing into the back of the Bulldog.
Davey Boy Smith back on his feet. Not about to be encased in that black body bag. Sends the Undertaker over the top rope. Paul Bear coaxing his man back to the locker room. The two, I believe, accomplished what they set out to do today. And I would not be surprised to see the Undertaker match up against the British Bulldog again in the future.
Now, we continue with Crunch Classics with the model, Monsieur Rick Martel, versus the Texas Tornado.
This next contest is scheduled
The action
for
continues here in Austin, Texas.
From Cocoa Beach, Florida.
And I'm not quite sure if the model Rick Martel is very comfortable in this state, Lord Alfred Hayes. He enjoys being in the big cities, New York, Paris, Munich.
Yes, he does indeed.
He has not made many friends down here in Texas, I'll tell you that.
No, but he's very welcome in those other big cities that you're talking about. But I believe he is quite well known in Dallas.
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely. Up in the world of fashion there, you know.
Well, he was
Dallas.
wearing some Western clothing, I saw earlier. A pair of cowboy boots. Wasn't exactly what they're used to down here.
No, they were very nice cowboy boots.
He said they were $3,000 boots. Yes.
I bet this fellow never wears $3,000 boots. Tornado, Texas Tornado.
Oh, but he certainly wears them, Lord Alfred Hayes. Native of Denton, Texas. And they love him here in Austin. Gary Von Erich.
And Denton,
Family
of course,
is legendary.
Yes, they are indeed. Denton is just north of Dallas, So maybe he knows a bit about the fashion world too. Do you think so?
I don't think he's quite concerned with fashion without the case. He loves a good fight, though. Texas Tornado.
Yes,
and I do believe he is going to get one here today against the model Rick Martel.
Look at Martel looking at his clothing, shaking his head in disgust. He said that this fellow has no class, and he's about to show everybody why he thinks he has no class.
Can't quite make out the conversation going on in the ring.
Come on.
I do believe Kerry Von Erich saw the atomizer that the model deposited in his corner. We have seen that become involved in numerous matches. And that is the Tornado's concern.
Yes, Martel there is displaying his classic physique and his immaculate appearance to that of the scruffy Texas Tornado. But I don't see much to fault with the physique of the Texas Tornado.
Model being very cautious of Kerry Von Erich. There's a referee right in there. I believe he's looking for an opening. And it doesn't pay off. Thought he saw one. That wasn't the case. Whoa. Tornado just misses. To the right.
Yes, he didn't get the wind-up that he would like to get.
Model
which he
said,
usually
I'm
does.
too fast.
Yes, he might be too. Model is a very, very accomplished wrestler. He moves so smoothly in the ring. He really has a lot of poetry, and he's caught there, though. Not as fast as he thought he was, nowhere near as fleet as foot as he thought.
Model tried to go over the top, slipped. Kerry Von Erich quick to capitalize on it. Kept the model down. Gave him a shot to the back of the head. Very quick on his feet.
Yes, yes. You know, that was a good move by Tornado. He came in there so quickly that the model didn't have a chance to establish that hold on the top rope.
Hard shot to the jaw, and we had a great angle of it. The cameras bring us right into the action. Can't get any closer. I don't think you'd want to be either. Martel slammed in hard in the turnbuckle. So watch those pretty looks. They ruin his modeling career.
You're being
facetious?
Yes, a little facetious there, aren't you?
I'm a safe distance from the model.
That's how I tell him.
Clothesline right out of the ring. You wouldn't do that, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Well, I won't do this time.
I've got the car. Unless you want to walk back to the hotel.
No, it's fine. I wouldn't tell him. You know that. Oh, gosh! Oh, what a wicked move that was. Well, he's being admonished by the referee there, and that really was a wicked move perpetrated there by the Texas Tornado. And he said, oh!
Martel slammed into the steel ring post. Sorry, Your Lordship, if the model put me in the hospital or something like that, who would have used you in the broadcast booth for hours?
Oh, that's true. I'd have to admit that.
All right.
Okay, you've made your point.
Put that right out of your mind.
You've made your case. I shan't mention it again. I won't be a snitch, I promise.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a superb.
I believe that was half a tornado punch.
It looked that way, yes, a demi-tornado there.
Really hard shots into the chin out of Rick Martel. Doesn't look so confident right now, does he?
No, he looks very flustered indeed. Nowhere near as smooth and as cool as he was when he started out this contest. He's lost a lot of his confidence, and a lot of the strut has gone with that too.
Martel tries to kick him with the elbow. The Tornado is too quick for him. Arm drag. Keeps a tight hold. Holding on with an arm bar.
Well, he's appealing to Martel to give it up, but I don't think that will help. Martel can turn a deaf ear to things like that.
Obviously a psychological tactic on the part of Kerry Von Erich.
Yes.
misses badly. But what he does connect with is the steal of the ring post.
And I think that was a mark of overconfidence there, Sean. I think he really thought he had Martel going. And Martel is a foxy wrestler inside the ring. He really is sly and cunning.
Now up on the second rope. Double axe handle right between the shoulder blades. Grant Von Erich now on his back. And it's the model who takes control. Once again, up on the ropes. Von Erich waiting for him this time.
And he's
that's the claw.
Jumped right into that patented hold. A tornado.
Martel tried to escape. Dragged back in. Von Erich showing the incredible strength behind that move. What a hold he has on the head of Martel.
No! Well, he's got to break that hold, but he's saying no, and he's really flirting with a disqualification here. Danny Davis showing a lot of tolerance.
Pounding away, we have yet to see the tornado punch. Martel now, with the arrogant sprays Von Erich in the eyes. His caution at the beginning of this encounter was certainly warranted after what we just saw happen. He wanted that atomizer out of there. The referee did not listen and warned Alfred Hayes. Von Erich blinded.
The bout resulting from a disqualification, the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich.
Not quite sure how much of the arrogance got into the eyes of the Texas Tornado. The end result awards this match to the Texas Tornado.
Well, Martel found himself in a lot of trouble very suddenly there, very quickly, and that was an act of absolute desperation, and he was disqualified quite rightly for that, which left the victor, the Texas Tornado.
No, and you know, when I was a little piper, I was plenty tough, and as a big piper, that speaks for itself. But when it came to snakes, I could scream higher than Little Richard. I'm afraid to death of them. I'd beat them to death or run like Jesse Owens. Now, there's only one man that I know that considers a snake man's best friend. Sits down there, pets them, feeds them, loves them. Yuck. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Trust me, 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 trust me.
So I hear some of you Coliseum video fans like pets. Like what? Little kittens? Little puppies? Snakes like little kittens. Snakes like little puppies. Not as friends, possibly something to eat. But let's look at this too. You see, snakes get so hungry, they will feed on themselves. Now, unfortunately, since I picked the snake as my friend, and they are indeed man's best friend, it wasn't a snake that led man wrong. It was a woman, remember? Adam and Eve, since the beginning of time, they've been here. But it's not here today. Why? Because some senile old man, Jack Tunney, living on borrowed time at that, should be ashamed of yourself, barring a snake. But I'm gonna get my point across. You see, snakes are great. Number one, unlike a dog or a kitten, you don't have to walk them. No. Number two, you don't have to feed them every day. They'll eat anything. Sometimes each other. Survival is very important to a snake. And that's why I like snakes. Don't you?
Look at that! Look at that!
Roberts with the King Cobra.
Muscle! Deep!
That's the creepiest looking snake I've ever seen in my life. He's got it too close to him. Keep it away from it. That snake is put. Wait a minute, the snake is ready. Oh, the snake is biting him. The snake is biting him. I'm out of here.
Bad attitude. What's wrong? Folks at Coliseum Video, is that a little bit too much for you? Is it too strong? Too close to the truth? Man truly does feed on each other every day. You don't want to admit it. But admit to this. You see, the nice things about snakes are There's so many different kinds, so many different sizes. Kind of reminds me of a show one time I'd done where we picked out just a few to play with. Let's look at that, just for a change. You might find this fella.
Or it could be this Eastern Diamondback Rattler. I mean, you never know where they're gonna show up down to you.
Then again, it could be Lucifer. That's Damien's big brother, and he's never been nice when he's shedding.
Or it could be this Cthulhu Viper. Something to think about.
Or it could be this.
Or it could be this.
Trust me. Come on. They'll be back. They'll be back. So you little guys down there, Coliseum Videos, remember this? Things that go bump in the night? What's underneath the bed? What's that in the closet? Is there somebody walking behind me? No. It's just your favorite little snake. Me. Coliseum Video fans, keep a close eye out for the snake, because he'll strike again. Trust me.
Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
Well, we're just gonna have to send Skinner after Jake's pets. Of course, that's after he goes up against Jim the Anvil Neidhart, if he makes it.
The following contest is
I have no
scheduled for
idea
one
why
fall.
Skinner
Making his way
brings that
toward the
can
ring.
to ringside.
Weighing
He
in
never
at
uses it.
238 pounds,
He spits on
and
everything
hailing
else in
from
sight.
the Everglades. Here
Including
is
people at ringside,
Skinner.
referee, his opponent. Doesn't seem to matter. And all over himself.
Oh,
He
that
is a
just
very disgusting individual.
And his opponent.
What a despicable
Making his way
habit
toward
that
the
is.
ring.
You know, you can get cancer of the lip, the tongue, the
Gums,
gums.
throat.
Oh, golly.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Well, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, before this encounters, said he was going to get rid of the disease that was spreading throughout the World Wrestling Federation. He was referring to Skinner, who continues to terrorize the competition here in the WWF. No one has been successful thus far at deterring the superstar from the Everglades. The Anvil plans to do it today.
And that certainly is a tough task. He has allotted to himself to get rid of this man. Just look at the tools of his trade there.
Now, how is he allowed to bring that large Bowie knife to ringside, Lord Alfred Hayes?
Well, I think that should be stopped definitely. But it's his token of good luck, he said. It's
Good
a charm
luck?
that, yes, he's got a bear's claw, or not a bear's claw, an alligator or a crocodile's claw or something that also, he said, brings him good luck. And he says has helped him win a lot of matches.
So he lost one sleeve. He can't make up his mind whether he wants a long sleeve shirt or a short sleeve.
He's going
Maybe
back.
an alligator took that off.
What has he forgotten in the dressing room? He's going back for something. Maybe another one of those sort of witchcraft type things he carries around with him.
Maybe he's going to bring out his pet croc.
That's a possibility. I heard he has a couple of those.
Really?
Yes. Oh, he's back.
Come on, baby.
Let's see what he's got.
Could have been disqualified for a move like that.
He's carrying something. What is that?
It's like his portable spittoon. He had that when he came out.
Well, maybe he didn't forget something. I don't know. Maybe this is some sort
Maybe
of
he
clever
had second
ploy.
thoughts about going up against the Anvil.
Yes, he might have done. That's absolutely true.
Would not be surprising.
No,
What is that, a dog food can?
it looked like that.
Maybe
One
that was
with
lunch.
The top off, yes. Oh gosh, don't say that. Oh, that horrible spitting thing he does. That is so disgusting.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, one of the most powerful individuals in the World Wrestling Federation.
There it is. What is that? Oh, it's the spittoon.
Label on it, couldn't quite make it out. First action we have really seen between these two individuals. Skinner immediately goes to a side headlock. He's going to have a very tough time trying to hold on to that
And I don't think that tactic is going to win him many points against Neidhart. Forget about just grabbing hold of his head. You're not going to squeeze it or hurt him that way. That way you might.
Hip toss by Skinner. Quite pleased about that move.
Well, it was a nice reverse. He did show a good move there.
Turned his back to the anvil. Almost paid for it.
Yes. Oh, gosh, he's still
minding
doing
his
it.
manners today. At least he's going over for the can. Some ruling should be made on that. Have you spoken with President Jack Tunney lately?
No, I haven't, quite honestly.
Suppose he's got other things to think about. Where his next free lunch is going to come from? No, I didn't do that. I happen to have a great deal of respect for President Jack Tunney. You're the one who usually makes comments like that.
Well, you obviously know what he's like to go out to lunch with.
I was kidding.
He never picks up
He's
the
very
tab,
busy
never.
these days. A lot of things happening in the World Wrestling Federation.
I appreciate
I suppose
you.
he cannot worry about tobacco chewing. I think that's probably down on his list. Again, the anvil.
Oh my word, look at Anvil. Some sort
Falls
of
victim to a hip toss.
a dance there, some sort of a victory dance.
Probably learned that down in the Glades.
Yes. The alligator crawl. And Neidhart, do you sense him being just a little bit hesitant in this match? He's really holding back, is he not? Is he pacing himself, Sean? What do you
just
think?
want to get near that tobacco spew.
No, I bet he doesn't either.
Imagine Skinner is not the best smelling individual either.
No, I wouldn't
I
think
think
so.
the last
at all.
time he washed those clothes was. Probably washed it in the swamp. Probably
Yes.
smelled worse after they dried.
Well, is there anything in the rule book that says you have to have clean clothes when you come into the ring? I mean, usually there is there not? Some sort of ruling on that. Otherwise, it's probably germ-laden from swimming
If
around
there
in
is a rule,
swamps.
Lord Alfred Hayes, I have never heard of it, but I just think that that would be something that an individual would do anyway.
Yes. Here's another...
They've never had a reason to have a rule.
Maybe not until this man's come along. But that was another ineffectual headlock by Skinner, and you can now see how ineffectual it really was. Ah, what's happened to him now?
Takes a shot to the throat.
Maybe he swallowed
Delayed
that horrible
tactic.
stuff.
Yeah,
I think he swallowed it. Oh, God. Ah, he swallowed the horrible stuff that he chews. It's making him sick. Oh, my word.
Well, that's what he gets.
This could be an easy victory here for Jim Neidhart, the Anvil. I know what it's like to feel sick when you're in the ring. Takes all the strength out of you completely.
Takes time out there to jaw with one of the folks at ringside. That can only lead to trouble. Atomic drop. Neidhart with a clothesline. Skinner out of the ring again in a hurry.
Skinner managed to avert that.
Hey.
Yeah. Ah, please. Oh, just please. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Well, it's descended into Skinner's face. Serve him right.
Oh, that's terrible.
Considering all he has done to his opponents.
Well, Danny Davis, our third man in the ring there, he was on top of that very
now,
quickly.
now
he's
he's
complaining.
appalled.
I thought we'd seen it all, Sean.
Skinner very upset. Heading back to the locker room now. Boy. Got second thoughts. Probably needs gas money, Lord Alfred Hayes. He knows if he heads back to the locker room, there is not going to be any pay.
That's right.
Not even the loser's share.
He knows that for sure. And that's a bitter blow when you go somewhere and you walk out the ring. Even if you're badly injured, you've got to stay in there. They are the laws of the World Wrestling Federation, the rules, I should say, and you've got to abide by them or suffer the consequences. Anvil quite happy now with his decision to spit into that cup. Look at him, laughing. He's enjoying himself.
Cackling. And Skinner only to further enrage him. Not seen a whole lot of action in this encounter. A lot of intimidation tactics used by both superstars. They go at it again. Neidhart trying to hold on with a side headlock. Skinner trying to power his way out. It takes a lot of strength.
It would appear that the Anvil is trying to wear down his opponent. Oh no, he had other ideas.
Well, say Jim Neidhart shouldn't give Skinner any ideas.
No, I don't think so either.
He could do the same if he got the opportunity.
A little sweat there from the brow of the Anvil. He's obviously been struggling hard. He was in the very beginning of this match against the Skinner, but he's slowed the tempo down. He's got it going exactly the way he wants it, and he's being quite successful in the way he's handling his own game plan right now. Skinner in quite a considerable amount of trouble.
Just can't seem to break free from that ironclad headlock. Neidhart again has a hold of the handle. Oh. I don't know who that hurt worse. Trying to help Skinner out, nearly ripped his whiskers out of his chin.
Yes.
He probably did get a few.
Do you think Danny Davis liked doing that?
Well, I'm sure he enjoyed himself.
I'm sure he was waiting for that particular opportunity.
He has been spat upon on occasion by Skinner.
Yes, there's no love lost between him and Skinner, definitely not.
But I'm sure Danny Davis is attempting to call this match as fairly as possible.
I'm sure he
turns
is.
into a chase.
A little foot race there, yes, and Anvil very, very quick for a big man. Amazingly rapid and light on his feet.
Come on, come on!
Neidhart beginning to get frustrated. Throws Davis out of the way. And Skinner grabbed that alligator claw and shoved it right into the throat of Neidhart. Davis never saw it. And you have to blame Neidhart for that. He shoved Davis out of the way.
Yes, he did, and he wasn't watching carefully enough to observe that he was in that very, very dangerous corner where that instrument or token is that Skinner can use so efficiently.
Use of those low tactics, trying to shield himself from the referee.
And it certainly
Skinner
swung.
very adept at that.
Yes, it swung the pendulum of this match in his favor now. Before this, Neidhart was controlling everything, but it's amazing how one shot like that can put you off and have you down on the floor.
And now Neidhart in a bit of trouble. Skinner shoves that thumb of his right into the throat. Neidhart has really taken some shots there. And it's superstar from the Everglades assuming control at this point. Goes again to the chin lock briefly. Keeping Neidhart down now.
And Danny Davis keeping a much closer eye now upon Skinner. I think he's shown a lot of tolerance in the past in this match, hoping to get a relatively clean match out of these men, but it's not happening that way. And I'm sure that Skinner now is treading on dangerous grounds where he could easily, if he keeps up this type of wrestling, be disqualified.
Neidhart struggling to get back in. Skinner willing to lend his assistance.
Yes, if you could call it that.
So doing well to keep him out.
Well, I would say that the referee's rapidly going to get fed up with this behavior on the part of Skinner. Look at him. Davis is really talking to him now. I wish I could have heard that.
I believe Skinner was telling Danny Davis he beat the 5 count, the 5-second cushion for deplorable tactics.
Yes. What do you think Neidhart has got to do here to swing this belt back in his favor, Sean?
First of all, he has got to summon the strength to launch a massive assault against Skinner. He is definitely weakened at this point, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes. You think he's got to take a defensive attitude like this for a little while and try and get some strength back into his body, huh?
Well, you have to consider the fact, though, Lord Alfred Hayes, that he may be trying to draw in as much strength as possible, but he's also suffering damage. So it's a very tough balance there. Shoulder block. And here's what we were describing, Lord Alfred Hayes. Now Neidhart has come alive, been saving it up.
Yes, he has, and he's changed the tempo, Sean. He stepped it up more than just a couple of notches.
And now it's Neidhart who returns the favor. Ready to take a bite out of Skinner. And again, uppercut, drops Skinner to the canvas.
And Neidhart looks very commanding now. He's beginning to stamp his authority onto this match, and Skinner's in trouble. He's confused, cannot see what's going on. And look at this, Anvil follows him down outside the ring. He wants to finish him off on the concrete.
Battle rages on outside of the ring. Skinner refusing to get up, give up, and he continues the assault. Back and forth, it's a brawl now between the two men. Nothing resembling any wrestling moves, and Lord Alfred Hayes, now we have a bell.
Well, that might be a time bell.
Or it could also be a double countout. Let's get the official word on this encounter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired. Therefore, the referee declares this match a draw.
I thought that was the situation, Sean. We were awfully close to the time limit there, and those men were on the outside, but however, I think this might have resulted, well, I couldn't say that really. I was going to say a moral victory for Neidhart, but maybe it hasn't. Skinner certainly established himself in this match as a nasty, nasty individual.
Well, I think thing that is clear, Lord Alfred Hayes, nothing was settled between these two superstars. Both are frustrated. Neidhart wants to continue the match regardless of the fact the time limit has run out. Skinner coming in now with his alligator claw, ready to go at it, then thinks better of it and begins to head back to the locker room.
And we may hear some more about this match from the president of our organization, Jack Tunney, because neither man came out of this exactly glowing with honors. However, this match is a draw, and it goes down in the record book like that.
Ooh, Grandma, you might want to close your eyes for this one, because this next match has a group of core ugly superstars. For their class picture, they had to take an aerial photograph. Now what you're going to see? You're going to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, and they face the 2 tons of fun duo of the Natural Disasters.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for
You can hear the rumbling.
led to the ring by their manager, the Mouth of the South.
Alfred Hayes, you know the ground does need shake when all 850 pounds of Natural Disasters pass you by.
I felt that vibration some time ago, Sean, when they passed me in the corridor long before these matches ever started, and I ran.
Look at the size of these two massive superstars. It is really tough to appreciate fully until you see them in person.
Not only are they such massive men, they are also superhumanly strong.
I'll tell you what's an event in itself, Lord Alfred Hayes, is watching those two sit down for a meal.
Yes.
They don't order just the left side of the menu, they order the right and the back of the menu.
How about picking up the tab? Who does that?
I think Jimmy Hart's very scarce when the bill comes.
I bet he is, too.
Sergeant Slaughter and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They have become known as the patriotic pair here in the WWF. And they are certainly popular on their own, but together, it's overwhelming. Folks on their feet here in Lubbock, Texas, set for this tag team matchup. And you talk about a battle ahead for Hacksaw and the drill sergeants.
Absolutely. You know, these are two big men in their own right, too. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, 6'4", weighs close to that 300-pound mark. The sergeant, also 6'5", weighs close to the 300-pound mark. And yet you will see that the disasters are much, much bigger.
Sergeant Slaughter with the red, white, and blue. Hacksaw always with his trusty 2x4.
Yes.
Although there isn't just one trusty 2x4, is there?
No, I think there's quite a few of those. You know something, Sean? Of all the people, or all the teams, I should say, look at that cute little doll there. Of all the teams that could beat the natural disasters, this team would certainly figure amongst the top team to do that. Do you think we could see a demise of the disasters here today?
A little last-minute strategy there between Hacksaw and Sergeant Slaughter. Perhaps Lord Alfred Hayes, but it is not going to be easy to bring down a massive earthquake and the huge typhoon.
So true. And our intrepid referee in this case, a very small fellow, of course.
Referring to Joey Morello.
Joey Morello, yes. But he can certainly keep order inside the ring.
One of the finest referees in the WWF, in my opinion.
He is indeed. But it is an awful task to give to somebody to control a tag team match of this magnitude.
What a task Hacksaw has here, stepping into the ring first with Typhoon. Frustration on the part of the proud American.
Sergeant Slaughter giving
I guess he is higher ranked than Hacksaw.
Yes.
Can they lock up?
I think that was a little moral encouragement too.
A lot of force behind that clothesline. Never even moved Typhoon. He took a step back there, maybe another. Will have more effect. Down goes Typhoon, and 3 times was the charm. Sergeant Slaughter right there at the side of his partner.
And the sergeant very quick to climb into the ring there. When 2 disasters faced just Hacksaw by himself, they have a great understanding of each other's tactics, these two. Sergeant Slaughter and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and this is the first we are seeing of Sergeant Slaughter.
Keeps a wary eye at the corner of the natural disasters.
A little mockery there of earthquake. Yes.
Jimmy Hart's been very quiet so far, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes.
I think she's funny now.
Oh gosh.
Boy, is he in a bad mood.
Boy, I didn't like that, did you?
When is he not?
No, I don't. I'd hate to see him if he hasn't had his breakfast and lunch.
Beat the doors off a car then.
Yes.
Typhoon charges in, misses the sergeant. There's a tag. Patriotic duo working well together. Wrist lock. Hacksaw hold on though. Typhoon sets him into the ropes. Tries a shoulder block. Goes into the corner. Earthquake grabs a hold of Hacksaw. Typhoon takes advantage of that situation. And in the process, tags in.
And that is a nasty situation to find yourself in for anybody. Hacksaw may not be dismayed by all that, but even so, he was at a distinct disadvantage.
Enemy territory there. And still hasn't crossed friendly lines yet.
No.
Slammed in the corner by Earthquake.
These are absolutely unrelenting enemies.
Yes, indeed. And Hacksaw trying to reach the sergeant. The tag just short. He's in trouble. Earthquake traps Hacksaw in the corner. It's like trying to get around a mobile home.
Oh, just look at that. There's no air at all there for Hacksaw. He's squashed right into that turnbuckle.
All 450 pounds crushing Jim Duggan.
Pounding him away.
Crumpling to the canvas. This time he slips out.
Nice move there. Oh, no, Hacksaw, no, I don't think so.
Love to know what was going through his mind right there.
Well, maybe he thought he could achieve that. You don't know with Hacksaw.
You have to get a lot more momentum behind you to take up 450 pounds of Earthquake. Body slam.
Oh, my word.
Right across the spine.
Oh.
Here's the cover.
And you'll notice there that Earthquake was keeping a very, very weather eye out to see if the sergeant was going to come across.
It was tough for him not to, but Joey Morella, sensing that the drill sergeant may attempt that, immediately went over there and backed him out.
Yes. At the moment, Slaughter playing this very cool. He knows that if he gets into the ring too much, it will be a distraction of the referee, and these two will benefit by that. Oh, my word.
Showing what a veteran he is. That must be awfully difficult right off the Hayes when you see your tag team partner suffering a severe beating and there's nothing you can do about it.
No, and our Coliseum cameraman then gave us a tremendous view of what was going to happen to Hacksaw Jim Duggan in this Crunch Classic here.
This is an exclusive matchup for Coliseum Video. Certainly get some great ones.
Absolutely.
Disasters. Facing Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Sergeant Slaughter.
And what a classic match this is turning out to be. Every bit that we thought it would be with these two teams. Very evenly matched indeed, except for the last couple of moments, the natural disasters have been able to take advantage of a very, very severely weakened Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He needs to tag out desperately.
Earlier today, Lord Alfred Hayes, during the production meeting, they told us about this encounter. We both looked at each other and said, this is going to be an incredible match.
We certainly did.
So far, it has been a great battle.
Duggan has great resolution, great determination. He also has marvelous stamina. And if he can manage to make that tag, I wouldn't mind betting that just a few minutes on the outside will refresh him again. And of course, Sergeant Slaughter is very, very fresh and very ready to come into the ring.
Hacksaw has been in the squared circle for a long time now.
And he's been taking punishment like that, Sean, all that time.
Earthquake and Typhoon use their weight very well.
Great power being shown there by Typhoon. Typhoon hanging on to Duggan, but I don't think that's sufficient to get a submission, do you? No.
That is not going to work. Huge bear hug, cutting off the circulation. Sergeant Slaughter visually showing his exasperation.
Yes, he was showing a lot of emotion there, Sean. I was quite surprised at that. Of course, they really like each other, these two men.
Earthquake charging in. Hacksaw alertly gets out of the way, but he is definitely drained.
And a superb opportunity here for Hacksaw to roll over to his own corner.
Got a long way to go, your lordship.
Well,
and he doesn't even know where he is. Wrong corner.
He needs to make a dive.
There it is. Sergeant Slaughter been waiting for this opportunity. And what an assault he is launching. Oh, misses with the right. Earthquake traps him. Typhoon comes charging in, and he takes out the massive Earthquake as he goes down to the arena floor.
And what a clash that was between those two. And Typhoon now showing signs of some wear from that tremendous clash with his own partner.
Sergeant Slaughter knows he is not going to beat Typhoon. Power for power, goes for the sleeper hold. But you cannot have eyes in the back of your head to see charging Earthquake as he breaks it up. No. Sergeant Slaughter back down to the ring.
Oh, my word.
Slingshot. And a double slam.
And there's that 800 pounds plus you were talking about, Sean. Slamming right into the sergeant. And Hacksaw, as we said before, you'll see him refreshed only after a minute or two. He has great stamina.
Jimmy Hart has thrown the megaphone in and is now distracting the referee.
And this is behind. Oh!
Hacksaw Jim Duggan not about to stand for it. Comes in with a 2x4 and cleans house. Lord Alfred Hayes, I believe the megaphone disappeared rather quickly. And, well, here's the official word.
Disqualification, the Natural Disasters.
I was afraid that was what was going to happen, your lordship. When the referee turned around, all he saw was Hacksaw Jim Duggan with a 2x4 in his hands, slamming Earthquake and Typhoon. Megaphone had quickly disappeared. And the official word will give the Natural Disasters this victory.
Yeah, I'm afraid, Sean, to use those old cliches, but that was a travesty of justice because the referee was unsighted. Even so, they're not demoralized. Look at Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Sergeant Slaughter, definitely not disgraced at all.
Well, the Pipes just had a ball, and I'd love to stay longer, but if I did, of course, your tape would run out. Modern technology, huh? But I hope you enjoyed this Crunch Classic. And I want to thank Coliseum Video for having the guts to have me on as your host. And as they say in Scotland for the last 400 years, Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, kids, may you be a half an hour in heaven, for the devil knows you're dead. See you later.